Hello good people from YouTube, here's Marcelo Durham once again. I'm here to talk about my Classic Vibe 2019 JAZZMASTer and all the modifications that I did to it. The reason why I'm doing these videos is that it's been 2 years now that I bought it, and I just want to walk you through all the modifications that I did and things that I discovered along the way, and things that I still intend to do to the guitar, because there's a few things that I would like to try out. So here's the guitar. It's a white. It came originally with a rosewood or Indian laurel, was Indian laurel of course, neck, and I changed it for this Mexican. It's a Telecaster deluxe neck, which is much wider. Okay, a similar C shape but much wider, and also of course maple, and with a lot of gloss on it, which I removed from the back so I could play easily, because I don't like the stickiness of the gloss. I didn't remove from the headstock, and I did not remove from the fretboard. I'm still considering doing that. I'm just being careful with it, because once you do it you cannot go back. I mean, you could go back, but it's a pain to put lacquer back into the fretboard. So I'm still trying to do a lot of research about the effect of this, and if it was going to be good or bad situation. I'm thinking about it, but that's one of the modifications I'm still considering doing. This guitar came with two actually good sounding pickups, two very similar to original JAZZMASTer pickups, in their construction. They were a little bit thicker and not as wide as a traditional JAZZMASTer pickup, but they were not P90s or fat Strat pickups disguised as JAZZMASTers. They were truly JAZZMASTer, but just a little bit modified, a little bit different, made in China, but they sound good. They sound alright. Once I put my first mod was the Seymour Duncan Antiquities that I put here on the neck, and this pickup was not sounding so amazing compared to the original China ones, believe it or not, until I changed the pots. So that was the first surprise that I had, was when I changed the potentiometers for good quality ones, then the sound of this pickup went really good. Okay, and of course I changed the pickguard. I did some shielding on it. I changed these pots for 500K pots, and it has currently now 0.033 capacitor, or in drop capacitor on the tone knob. I also put the buzz stop, which did help with intonation a lot. I considered changing the bridge, the tremolo here. I considered changing for the Mexican or American vintage one, but I never did, because maybe I wanted to save money, maybe I didn't feel like it needed. To be honest, I don't feel like it needs. There might be something that I'm missing, but to be honest, I think this is just fine. As well as the bridge itself, because these are the 2019 are the already Mustang bridge with the correct radius, although it does not match the radius of this neck, because it's 12 and this is 9.5. But to be honest, it works just fine. The bridge pickup, it was the original of the guitar for a long time. Then I switched for a Fat 60s. There's a video about that. And now it's currently with a Chinese P90 that came in my Squier Affinity series, which I liked a lot. I liked a lot these pickups. They are proper P90s, with a ceramic with two magnets at the bottom, glued at the bottom, and the bobbins are a little bit closer and taller than the traditional, JAZZMASTer pickup. In this case, the Antiquity 2s that I have here. Also, what I did on this tone is that I put a treble bleed on it, and I also put a treble bleed on this circuit. This circuit is exactly as it came, but I put a treble bleed on it, and it's got quite of an interesting result, because if I low the volume down, I get this, you know, with the treble bleed, the bass goes before. So if you roll a little bit, it actually gets brighter, and it's kind of a lower volume of the neck pickup, but it's not as dark as it used to be. So the thing is, like, you can set up 2 volumes and just switch here for the 2 volumes of the neck pickup, but it's a useful sound, as I will show in a minute. Also, I would like to comment that this guitar came with 2 little problems on the finish. So there's a little crack here on the neck heel, okay, on the finish. And there's also some weird, like, shaping here, like the wood got hit or something. They painted on top, and they didn't they should have maybe, you know, send it off. But there's a little dang that I can feel in the wood, and then they painted on top, and you can feel here the hit on the wood. But to be honest, I even considered returning the guitar at the time that I bought it, but to be honest, I didn't want to go through the whole trouble. I just, whatever, you know, I didn't care that much. Other than that, well, I love this guitar, and I like the tremolo. And by the way, if you don't have those tremolos, that the Mexican or vintage one that has the button here to lock, you have to screw in this screw here and lock the tremolo so it doesn't go up. It only goes down, and that improves intonation or stability of your tuning. Okay, not intonation, but you got what I mean. It makes it, keeps it in tune longer, better. Let's hear some sounds. I'm not gonna record this into Pro Tools. I'm just gonna use the camera sound. So this is my guitar. The amplifier is just behind the camera. And I got a Hall of Fame on, and I also have a Joyo American Sound. I like this pedal a lot. I leave it on all the time. And I'm going through an MV50 with a 10-inch speaker cap that is behind the camera. Okay, so that's the clean sound, completely open. Okay, the guitar. Middle position. And the bridge. And this is circuit here on top. Pickup up. See, with the treble bleed, it gives you a little extra sparkly on it, which makes the sound a little bit better. And if I roll down, then it gets quite thin. And I can use this kind of a volume boost or something. But this is the clean sound. But I never use the guitar like this. I never use the guitar in this condition that I show you. You're probably not even like the sound, because I don't like the sound, but if you do, fine. But what I actually do is I put on an overdrive, like a Mojo overdrive, and you can see the guitar is going to be really aggressive now. But here's the deal. I also don't use just with the overdrive on. It's really cool sound. It's more aggressive. It's nicer, and it's actually smoother with the overdrive. But what I like to do then is lower the volume, because with the treble bleed, I get the sparkly highs still here at the guitar, and the low goes down. So it distorts with less low end. It distorts a little bit less, but it still have a good focused, bright sound on the guitar. But because these are so fat anyway, it's still fatter than a Strat or anything like that. So it's good to have. I like this. This is the place where I want to keep it. Also, I heard a lot of people doing the same when they have P90s on their guitars. So, and the same with Duncan is really fat as well. Anyway, it's the original JAZZMASTER sound. I managed to balance these two a little bit by putting this lower than this, but it's just subtle. It's very subtle. That's the sound that I like. I could even take a little bit of the tone down just to get that really sizzling highs, but that's the sound that I like. So I have to reduce on the guitar and keep the overdrive on all the time to actually use this in a way that I like. I don't mind doing that. It's just something that well, in this review, that's what I wanted to share with, you know. And you know, if you want to play some blues with it, I almost put the volume up as a tick thing. I don't want to keep the volume up, but I leave roughly on 8 and 7, depends. But if you want to do the blues thing, it's like a fat strat, you know. And I like to put the Mojo Mojo with the tube screamer on the neck. Too high, you can go to in my case here, you can go to the EQ of my amp or the Joy and just put this neck is so fat that sometimes it's hard to do the fast thing. When I go back to the Strat, I'm flying, but it's good to have this one. It's a different feel. I like the different feel. Anyway, I hope you liked the quick demonstration of the modifications that I did on my guitar. Sorry if I was lazy about doing the sound through the Pro Tools and everything, but I think that's just enough to show you kind of the characteristics of the guitar. Once again, if you really want to listen to the sound of this in a little bit higher quality, watch other my videos. I have plenty of covers playing with this guitar in this current setup. I have a song of mine called Lateralization. It's kind of a grungy rock, garage rock thing where I use the bridge pickup all the time. And yeah, I mean, I'll put a link here anyway for you guys to get to know this, my song and stuff. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. And I also have some records in Portuguese that on Spotify that I did before. And but my new record will be in English now, and there's already 4 songs, including this one that I mentioned. There's already another 3 that you can listen on YouTube exclusively, and hopefully early next year I'll be putting this out on all the other platforms like Spotify, iTunes, etc. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the guitar. For the future, I probably will put another antiquity here in the bridge, because this one sounds really good. And the China one is good, it's cool, but I think I want a proper matching JAZZMASTER set on this guitar. And yeah, well, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.